everybody, welcome to the show. My name is T and we are talking scary movies. I appreciate you tuning in for another brand new review. Remember, every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I'm going to have some movie news, an opinion piece, or a new interview for y'all to check out. But I'm dropping reviews all throughout the week here on the channel, and you do not want to miss any of that. I'm talking horror movies, games, TV shows, books, whatever is coming down the pipeline here. And the best way to stay on top of all of that is to get subscribed to my link tree. And you can do that by going to linktr.ee/T scary movie. If you get subscribed to my link tree, that's going to give you access to the YouTube page for the video versions of the show, to your favorite podcasting platforms, the audio only versions of the show, to my Letterboxd page for written reviews and movie rankings throughout the year, to my TikTok page for my short horror content, including movie news as well as movie premieres, to my Twitch page if you like to catch me doing some horror gaming, and there's going to be a lot coming up, and to my Fangoria shop page where you can enjoy my 20% discount off anything in the Fangoria shop, including a physical subscription to their yearly magazine. Folks, take advantage of that. Hit that subscribe button, especially if you're watching on YouTube, as the more followers I get, the more content I can put out for all of you. And you're not going to want to miss it. We got a lot of great stuff coming up here over the next few weeks. Folks, we're going to be jumping into the world of aliens sooner than later here. I got a great interview here with a guest where we get a chance to discuss the Alien franchise. And y'all know I've already dropped reviews back in the day for Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. So as we get closer to the release of Alien Romulus, I'm going to be dropping them for the rest of the films in the series as well. So a lot of good stuff here to look forward to. But before we get there, we got some full moon terror to focus on. This past Wednesday, I dropped an episode that was focusing on the films Wolf, The Wolf of Snow Hollow, and The Cursed. Had to think about that for a quick second. And I was talking about what makes werewolf movies so good, and about how the majority of them tend to tie the whole idea of being a werewolf to your very human character itself, and that it's an analogy for, you letting loose all these things that you're restricting yourself on, that you're holding back on. All your impulses, whether good or bad, are coming out being a werewolf. And that's what a lot of werewolf movies do, and that's why a lot of them end up being so good. There's not so many out there that really just deal with, hey, werewolves are here attacking us, oh my god, we're in so much danger. There are some, and I'm not insulting those, but I think if y'all really thought about that, you'd realize we don't have a lot of those out there. Most of these are going to be kind of thought pieces that have to really make you think about the folly of man. And so tonight's film that we're going to be talking, The Beast Within, starring Kit Harington from Game of Thrones, Jon Snow that you know. This is going to be another one of those personal stories that, again, analyzes man through the lens of lycanthropy. So let's not waste any time. Let's just jump right on in here. If you haven't seen the trailer for The Beast Within, this follows 10-year-old Willow, who knows something is amiss at her family's isolated compound out in the middle of nowhere. Her mother seems to consistently hide secrets and lie to her and not tell her the full truth about what's going on at their house and what's going on with her father. And her father consistently seems to be in an agitated state, ready to snap at the slightest thing. But what will happen when Willow discovers her father's dark secret? Will any of them be able to keep alive? So that's The Beast Within, folks. And again, I said this was going to be another one of those personal stories that analyzes man through lycanthropy, and it really is. Honestly, this movie caught me off guard only because I really didn't expect it to end up having as much of a heartfelt connection in these characters through this film. It's a very small cast in this, and we really are focused on this family of four, which includes, Father Noah, played by Kit Harington, his wife Imogen, played by Ashley Cummings, daughter Willow, played by Kaylin Springall, and then Father Waylon. And we get to see the dynamic that the family really has, that Willow spends most of her time locked up in a room, not locked up by her family, but because for whatever reason, she herself is barring that door to try to keep anybody out as much as humanly possible. She's not exactly interactive when folks are calling upon her. And then we also see that, again, Imogen, the mother, seems to live just in a very terrified state most of the time, and that she's always like seemingly very worried about noises in the house or about keeping certain things secret, like a fancy dress that she wanted to put on just to feel good. And we can clearly see that Waylon doesn't have a positive opinion of Noah at all. There's clearly issues and tension between the two of them for whatever reason. And again, this story is very much about abuse and about what we'll continue to endure and what we can endure for others as well. And we very much see that Imogen has taken on a lot of pain for this family, that it's pretty much been her job to take care of Noah, who is afflicted with something and has to disappear every few nights for whatever reason, and comes back exhausted and covered in blood, leaving Willow completely confused. And we see that Imogen is just in incredible pain. And we are talking both physical and emotional pain. You know, Willow is noticing these things. And that's something that very much stood out because, you know, in tales of abuse, at least told through Hollywood, a lot of times they don't really focus on the idea that, you know, the child is seeing what's going on and how that really affects them. Realistically, most of the tales of abuse in Hollywood focus on, you know, the two direct people. So in this case, Noah and Imogen would be typically the focus in most other Hollywood films. And in this one, they very much are focusing on it through the point of view of Willow and showing what her witnessing all this is doing to her psyche, honestly. And I thought that was an inspired choice because realistically, that is such a big part of these kind of terrible situations in real life, that, you know, a child seeing what, you know, what their dad is doing to their other parent, or what their mom's doing to their other parent, that leaves a lasting impression about what they feel is acceptable and what that means is normal in life as well. And it's very clear that Willow is getting, unfortunately, this like very warped sense of what life really is and what's okay, like the way it is to treat people and the way that even she herself is supposed to be treated. And it's heartbreaking because you know that Imogen wants to do everything to protect Willow, and that she will do everything to protect Willow. But like at the beginning of the film, at least it stood out to me, there's this shot that they do to where they show like the inside of the compound, the inside of their house. And it goes from, you know, this dusty cobweb filled basement to the, you know, the bottom floor where Imogen is, I believe she was making something in the kitchen. Then it goes to Noah, like just chilling in his bedroom, like, you know, sitting at the bed looking stoic. And then it goes to Willow in her bedroom. And I thought that was very poignant, showing like the class of where everybody stood in this family. And unfortunately it shows that like Imogen is at the bottom of these things, that she's only above where the rats are basically crawling at. And I thought that was a great metaphor for showing the way that the class is set up in this family, because Imogen unfortunately is the one who is tasked to continue to take care of Noah while at the same time enduring all the pain and abuse that Noah throws on as well too. And the idea here is that we're supposed to kind of feel that, all right, well, the reason why Noah is the way that he is because he's hiding this curse, in which it seems that he's a werewolf. And as we've seen in a lot of other werewolf movies, maybe they have all these other characteristics, like they're very angry, and along with the heightened senses that we see Noah using throughout this film. But for whatever reason, you know, it's always tense. Even when Noah's smiling, even when he's spending his time alone, like with Willow, it always seems incredibly tense with him. You know, one of the things that the story does incredibly well, like I mentioned earlier, is the idea that Willow is seeing all this and leaving her confused. And then we start to see more of her interactions that she has separately with Noah and separately with Imogen. And we see, you know, for her getting to go into town with Imogen one day, and that, you know, they both get to put on dresses and like kind of feel pretty and have fun. And it doesn't seem they get to do a lot of that locked away at their house. And then when we see Willow spending time with Noah, you know, they're playing like they're king and, you know, princess of the forest, and going around and playing these games with each other. But at the same time, Noah is incredibly rough around the edges. And a lot of times in stories like these, you know, they make it a very, very strict point to show that, like, maybe the parents aren't going to inflict anything harmful upon the children at all. But that is what makes the beast within, like, so uneasy, I feel, is that at any time you're vastly concerned for Willow's safety, honestly, because you don't have any sense of security that Noah won't turn around and harm her either. And, you know, it's interesting because I found myself thinking of two very, very specific other films here that was evoking a lot from this film. And the first was Enough. I know y'all know the one, like, it was either 2000 or 2001 Jennifer Lopez thriller, where she's in the abusive relationship trying to escape with her daughter, and it's Bill Campbell from The Rocketeer. And then a segment from Tales from the Hood, which, this Boys Can Bruise Too, I believe is the name of it, about the boy at the school, and the teacher sees all the bruises on him, and there's a monster at home that hurts him, and the monster turns out to be, you know, his stepdad. Like, there's a lot that The Beast Within has in common with those stories, and The Beast Within tells just as well the story about, again, what are we complacent in these terrible things happening, that we see them and we allow them to happen, especially to people that we love, and when is it enough for us? When can we stop this cycle from going on? Because that's one of the things that The Beast Within very, very much focuses on, is that this has been a cycle for Noah's family, and that Noah hasn't broken the cycle at all, whether that's through his own choice or whether that's through what he perceives as being cursed. This cycle just continues on. And Willow is that the werewolf transformation, again, is just an analogy for Noah doing these terrible things and feeling that he has to do these terrible things every few nights, and how that affects his family. So we don't focus on that. We don't see that there's not all these victims in the woods or nearby that Noah's going and killing or anything, but we build up to it at the end of the film. And, you know, I thought that made the actual ending that much more interesting, because the film does in a certain particular way. And, you know, you might think for a second it's going to be predictable. And if you're like me, there's one thing that you probably had in your mind, that if you do this, while that might be even more predictable, that would be the deserved ending. That would be the right ending. That would make everything feel like it ended on as nice of a note as you can on a story like this. And so the ending happens. I was like, damn, all right, well, it didn't go that route. I know what happened at the very beginning of the story, and I know the story that Noah was telling Willow as well. I know those two things. But again, we got to see, you know, you got to see what was happening at the end of the film. So who's to say that Noah didn't have it wrong as well too? And I think that's honestly the most heartbreaking part of this, is that, again, for it being an analogy, you get that ending, which should tell you all that you really need to know, honestly. It's a surprisingly great film, y'all. One of the better ones that I've seen all year. Please go check it out if you get a chance. And do not forget, folks, we are rounding the end of July here. A chance to win a Tall Man Funko Pop. Tell me in the comment section your favorite werewolf movie. That's all I want to know there. Let me know in that comment section. Get a chance to win a Tall Man Funko Pop. That's going to do it for me tonight, y'all. I appreciate you checking out this review. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll be back for more soon. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared. Boy here is a big fan of Fangoria. So, if you want to check out the world's best horror magazine that's out there, get a chance to get yourself your own subscription, which I just got my first one back in 2022, and I don't regret it for a second. But if you want your own Fangoria subscription, or you like the Fangoria merchandise, then head over to the Fangoria shop and use my link if you want to save yourself some money, folks. That's an easy one to remember. Just go to shop.fangoria.com/axdew. Again, that's shop.fangoria.com/axdew, or use my specific code AXTEW at checkout. You can save 20% off your entire order, and that implies 2 subscription and the one-time orders as well. You don't want to miss out, folks, because with the magnitude of horror movies we've had released in the last few years, and with what we have on the horizon, Fangoria is going to be your #1 source for all that great, juicy, bloody information in the world of horror. So again, head to shop.fangoria.com. Hey there, folks! Thanks for tuning in to T-Watch This Scary Movie. I appreciate you checking out another review or movie news, whether we're talking movies, TV shows, books, or games, whatever, it's all scary. Remember, you can check out new episodes every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the YouTube page for video. That's youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. Again, youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. And you can check out the audio version on all your favorite podcasting platforms. Just search T Watch the Scary Movie or TWASM. Don't forget, my name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.